Democrats are throwing themselves a pity party for a fired millionaire who was losing CBS $40 million a year. When the Keystone Pipeline workers got laid off by AutoPen, or the soldiers were fired for not getting vaxxed, Democrats said, too bad. But a guy making $20 million a year is told his show's over, and they show up and mourn him like it's an open casket funeral.
On Friday, Donald Trump posted, "I absolutely love that Colbert got fired. His talent was even less than his ratings." How dare you, sir? Would an untalented man be able to compose the following satirical witticism? Go yourself.
The shows that you now seek to cancel, censor, and control, a not insignificant portion of that $8 billion value came from those shows. Go yourself!
This confirms the left has lost their minds. All this caterwauling about the getting rid of these Colbert tells you that they know, the left knows, that this guy was not an entertainer. He was not a talk show host person. He was an arm of the DNC.
He was a classic Democrat propagandist.
Yep.
I mean, and the irony of this is how socialism is taking over the Democratic Party. And here is a for-profit organization, CBS, right, that's not making a profit, that's literally losing, what is it, millions of dollars on the Colbert Show. And they finally said, hey, we got to, cut our losses and get out of here. And they blame it on Trump. And by the way, the lexicon of the Democrats, it has one word. It's the F-bomb.
Mm-hmm.
That's it.
Yep. And help me understand this, Jake. Can you give me an example of where the White House is trying to control these shows, or not just to control them, to censor them, or to cancel them?
There's nothing whatsoever. This is an absurdity.
But think about the way that Democrats run government. They don't care how much debt there is. They don't care how much money they're pissing away. All that money that was going to USAID going down the rabbit hole. Billions of dollars. They don't even know where it is. They don't care about that. So when it comes to CBS, why should CBS care that they were $40-50 million in debt every year? This is the typical Democrat way of handling things.
That's exactly what I was attempting to say earlier when I talked about CBS being for profit and the socialist. That's the socialist mindset. What would Maggie Thatcher say? It works as long as we until we run out of other people's money. Well, come on, give me a break. They were hemorrhaging, losing millions of dollars, and they finally said you're fine, and then they're crying, throwing 1,000 F-bombs in the process, and blaming it on Trump.
Yeah, and this to me, besides being a typical Democrat operation, is the entitlement. I mean, I use that word every show. And that, I think, is why the American people are starting to really loathe the Democrats. They never learn from their mistakes. Every mess they make, somebody else has to clean it up, and they never say two words about it. They can't say one good thing, even about a young boy who's got a tumor at the State of the Union. The entitlement from these guys, that they have the right to be on all the networks, almost exclusively on late night TV, talking leftist politics at nothing else.
Yeah, ideological psychosis is exactly what it is. They're driven by the madness of the wokeness that has poisoned the Democratic Party.